Ever wondered if your investments are really paying off? Most people never get the chance to compare their performance with others. But what if you could? At Verde, we've developed a powerful tool that lets you do just that. It's called the average investor return, and it's your chance to see how your portfolio stacks up against the competition. I'm Carl Szasz, President and Chief Compliance Officer, and in today's video, I'm going to reveal how this tool works and why it could be a game changer for your financial future. Let's get started. Okay, so what is the average investor return benchmark? This is our attempt to really try to help investors to understand how are you doing versus everyone else that's out there. This is very difficult to get because I can't just walk across the street and walk over to another financial firm and say, hey, why don't you show me your investment performance? This is something that's a closely guarded secret at most financial advisory firms, and they don't really want you to know. And the reason they don't want you to know is because usually it's pretty bad, unfortunately. Here's what we know. We were able to go out there and get publicly available data on every mutual fund, every ETF, every separately managed account, every unit investment trust that trades in the United States. This is over $57 trillion of assets. It took our computers running full speed, almost 6 months, just to download the data that we needed. What we realized from that data was pretty interesting and pretty telling. Number one thing that we realized was there's a lot of managed money in the US, and interestingly enough of it, about 25% of it is sitting in cash. Now, this isn't cash at your bank. I want to be clear. This is cash in people's 401k accounts and their mutual fund accounts, cash that should be invested. We also noticed about 20% of it was in the bond market, and about 55% was in the stock market. Real estate, commodities, and crypto are just a smidgen for most investors, right? But this combined is what we created, and we call this the average investor. So this is basically the benchmark that we like to benchmark to and show our clients how they're doing against. Now, what's really interesting about this average investor benchmark is that we can look back at it and we can see how it's done this year, last year, and previous years, right? But also we can slice and dice it any way we want now. If we've got a client that's, let's say, very aggressive, we're going to see that they're going to beat the average investor in the up years. They might also lose during the down years. So we can actually take subsets of these average investors and account for risk tolerance changes. So we can say out of those 100 people that are in the average investor return, what if we just took the 20 that looked exactly like you as a client and benchmarked you against them? And ultimately what this leads to is an ability for us to be able to benchmark not just our portfolios, but any portfolio you have and see how it's doing against other investors out there. So now, once again, we can look at this and we can actually get back to the purpose of investing, which is number one, did we beat inflation, right? Did we beat that 3.25% return that historically has been the inflation rate? But more importantly, did we beat inflation in years like 2022 or 2021 when inflation was even higher? We got to stay ahead of inflation, otherwise we don't maintain our purchasing power. So that's number one. And then number two, how did we do at expanding our slice of the pie versus everybody else? Did we keep up? Did we get ahead? Or did we fall behind? If we can answer those two questions, that really helps us to understand, are we doing well as investors? Are we fulfilling kind of our mission when it comes to what we're trying to achieve here, or are we not?
If you are interested in getting a quick checkup on your existing portfolio to see how your investments are performing against not just inflation, but other average investors around you, go to bit.ly/howamidoingverde and our team will get in touch with you.